What it do, KTTeeV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of the Daily K Podcast. And on today's episode, we have Miss Tanya J. Miller from Tanya J. Miller, LLC. How you doing today, Miss Tanya?
I'm doing well, Kendrick. How are you doing this evening, this day?
I'm doing fine. I just want to say thank you for taking a few minutes to come on and to talk about the work that you're doing in the community and just the business in general. Because, like I say, as I look through things, you got some awesome work. You know, you got some awesome books. Everything is smooth. So I'm looking forward to getting the word out to everyone.
Thank you. I appreciate it. As am I with you when I share it out. I need everybody to know about the work that you're doing. I loved it when I saw you. It's like, no, I'm a brother. I'm an inspiration. I'm motivation. I'm a chief, but I'm a brother too. I'm a brother. I love that part.
I think the only way to make it happen is you got to be true, to yourself. And
Absolutely.
I do enjoy it. So as we get into it, can you give me a little bit of background about you and about the business?
So Tanya J. Miller LLC is the company. Talking with Tanya, that is the vlog. I say vlog now because years ago it was a blog and it was through email. It wasn't even no blog. It was an email, y'all, through AOL, through Hotmail, through SBC Global, through whatever email you had back then. It was usually dial up. That's what we had. And I sent it as an email, but as technology changed and everything, I'm bringing it to you as a vlog video on YouTube with clips on the other parts of my social media. But with that, it kind of really helped me to tailor one of the things that I say is my tagline, which is that I help people in organizations to figure out how to fit the puzzle pieces of life together. And, I do that through my work as a coach, as a speaker, as an author, as a strategist, because I just want to help you to do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose, just like you want to help not just the kids that you work with and the teachers, but just the community, to be motivated, to be able to achieve and to inspire them along the way through your work as a speaker and coach as well. And then that AP, you got working and a mentor, I think we both do what we do because we know that it wouldn't be any other way. Like it was a part of the plan the whole time.
I guarantee you it was, for me, I went through some tragedies. Like I had two back-to-back big losses. And so then what made me, and so I was like, how do I recover? Because one of them was the suicide,
Nope.
And so I was like, how do I put out something to where if somebody else was going through what he was going through, could they see something that I put out that would change or would make them reach out or just hold on for a few more days or something? And so
Yeah.
that I thought about it, and the next day I started doing it, and here we are a year later.
Yeah, that's what's up. Like, and I can even tell you, my first project, Mind Matters, it literally came from trauma and mental. Just I was done. Like I mean, I would. You probably would have thought I was about to get ready to go. What they say, give up the ghost. Like it was, like literally tragedy, trauma, just brokenness, like everything, all that you could think of. Plus, I was away from my family across the country. Plus,
Mm.
we between my husband and I, 6 bouts of unemployment in 7 years. Plus, did I mention broke? I gotta say that again because
Hey,
folks be like, "Oh, you just play broke." No, no, we was in
no,
the pit, covered up under the dirt, broke, 6 feet below surface, broke. Like we
yeah,
was there for a break. But and then even with that, I had health issues, chronic health issues, and they haven't went away. I've just learned different
hmm
things, coping just from even therapy. Like, so I'm a firm proponent. A lot of us, as this color that we are, the stigma is there to go. But if you can't get what you need, where you're at, then you might need to go get some more. So make that stop, that U-turn into the counseling office at your school. Make that appointment if you got EAP through your job, because those are free therapy sessions that you just
yes,
get just for work. And they ain't even related to insurance. They just
hmm
free.
yes,
So you need to do, because a lot of times we as our culture, we stuff things, we put it down, we cover it up. But it's a time and place for everything, and it's time out for us doing that. Honestly, we taking it out on each other. We
Yes.
taking it out on ourselves, and unfortunately, some of us are taking it out on our children and the
Mm-hmm.
generations behind us. So
Yeah.
we got to do better. We
Mm.
got to be self.
And as we talk about that, I know that you mentioned the mind matters, and so
Mm-hmm.
that is basically from and tell me if I'm wrong, but it's basically about that voice inside of your head, and how do you deal with that? And so for me, I'm a person who, like, a lot of my battles are won or lost here before I even go somewhere, and so I'm pretty
Absolutely.
sure.
That's the man thinking.
Yes, yes. And so now, so here. So talk to me
Yeah.
about the mind matters. I know you gave a little bit of going into how you came to that part, but kind of talk to me about the mind matters and a little bit of background of
Yeah, so like I said, all of that was all happening, and I was just about to give up the ghost, and so I was like, "No, is 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 you gonna give up the ghost, or is you gonna do something different?" And I was like, "I'm gonna do something different," and so I went to therapy, and that wasn't that I hadn't done therapy before, but when I say different, like, am I gonna stop trying to handle this myself, or am I gonna go to somewhere? And it was actually Christian based therapy as well that I chose to. And I mentioned that to say, whatever therapy works for you, find that form of therapy. It might be art therapy. That's a whole therapy, y'all. Art therapy is a real type of therapy. It may be cognitive, it may be behavioral, it may be occupational, whatever form of it. It may be even a form of hypnotherapy to some extent, but it's not like the crazy kind that you see on TV,
yes.
but whatever form of it that you need, get that kind, or at least research it, investigate it, or at least just call and try and see, hey, are you the one through your EAP? And if they not, start all over again,
Mm-hmm.
But went to therapy, and as I was working on my stuff, I got back to writing, talking with Tanya, because I had stopped because it
Mm-hmm.
was just like life just was like,
Go.
girl, I'm gonna slap you again. I'm gonna slap you again. Oh, you want to get? Let me step on you. Why? Okay, let me just stomp on you. Okay, let me put you 6 feet. And so life had to do that, and it was like, right, who gonna
Mm.
write for talking with Tanya? So got back to writing for talking with Tanya. But in that, I started writing down and literally saying, I don't want anybody else to ever feel like this. I don't want anybody else to ever feel stuck again. I don't want anybody else to not know how to get back into life, not know how to jump and get out of their head. I don't want anybody else to not know how, if they love someone, see them going through this type of trauma, this type of mental anguish, this mental breakdown, even, or just this traumatic situation, this grief, this loss, and not know how to reach them. Because I'm sure folks told you, snap out of it, Kay. Snap out of it, Kendra. It ain't that serious. It ain't that bad. You tripping. It ain't. Baby, just get over it. It'll be fine. It's going to go to sleep. Sleep is not the answer for everything. Sleep is not the answer. Just go to bed. Drink some water. Come on, y'all. Like, sometimes sometimes you need more. And so I wanted to make sure to even speak to that audience to know, hey, they may need to go to intensive therapy. They may need to stay in therapy in the actual treatment facility. Hey, they might even need to be on some meds to stabilize their mood and their chemical imbalance for a little while, or maybe if it's even a deeper and bigger diagnosis, for maybe forever. But at least they okay. At least they better. At least they not cutting themselves. At least they not self harming. At least they not eating themselves into oblivion. Listen, y'all know we will cut up. We will eat everything in sight, and then be like, you still done? You want that? We got to do better with our health, y'all. We got to do better with our health, and that's a part of even self awareness as well. And so, wrote that book. Kendra put that mother to the side. Kept doing Taco Tanya. I had no idea what I was planning to do with it. But 5 years later, got that tap on the shoulder. Was like, hey, Tanya, that book you wrote, I need you to pull it out. I need you to get it ready for the editor. And I need you to write a journal because you are publishing your first and second book at the same time. I was like, am I somebody in my head? Like, I was like, no, no, no. But I did it anyway. And then in the process of that, it just kind of really brought into some of the things I was doing before. I had a nonprofit before. I'm big on mentorship as well, sir. So listen, my heart. And so, especially for young adults, and because I feel like that's the population a lot of people forget about. But I had a nonprofit and I had a business that was consulting. And so I started to kind of look at what was the good in what I did in that. And so I pulled some of that out. But what I even pulled out, I was like, I've really been doing this for a long time. Like, I've really been speaking since I was like 3 or 4. I've really been doing this coaching thing that they done made up a whole name for, to try and call it, put a spin on it from sports. You're not sports coaching, you life coaching, But we've been doing this for years, years. That's how you see the 18, because I literally took over my youth department at 17, but I was still doing that as a teen. So it's like, I'm gonna ride with this. I'm gonna go get some letters and some more training and certification. I'm gonna play this game with y'all. So I'm not just gonna say I'm a coach. I'm gonna get these credentials. So y'all believe, as my mama saying things. My mama said. So y'all don't believe. So y'all don't believe that me greasy. I got my numbers. I got my letters. Here you go. So did bet on that. And then even the strategist piece, that was me basically pulling out what I was doing for corporate America and what I do. And as far as project manager, I'm like, I ain't just gonna let them use me up. I'm gonna use myself for myself to help my people, not color, but the people that I know that need to understand how to put the same type of project management principles to their life, because the fundamentals are still the same. How to put it together for their leadership staff or development or organization, because the fundamentals are still the same. They're practical and they're applicable. And yes, Tanya, let's bet on you. As you launch this first and second book, launch the whole Tanya J. Miller LLC company. Bring Talking with Tanya under that brand on, and bet on you. Bet on you. And let's, so that's it. Like how I decided to bet on me.
And I just put out a video Sunday. A friend of mine who created the Melanoid Exchange, and basically it's a platform, for minorities. And so the biggest thing we
Mm-hmm.
talked about was just betting on yourself. That was the phrase we used a lot, because he was an engineer and he quit, to go full time with the Melanoid. But he said, I got to bet on myself. So I'm with you. So with the Mind Matters and the journal,
Mm-hmm.
how do you use it in your coaching business?
I talk about it, especially with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, especially with 2020, folks want to throw it away. It's a very hot topic right now, mental wellness, mental health, all of it. And so a lot of times I may just talk on it from some of the principles in the book. I may talk on it from bringing some of the questions out in the journal and bring it to life. I just may talk about my personal story behind it and then related to what is practical and going on today. So it really just depends, but it is right now it is a hot or requested topic for discuss in speaking engagements, and to use in my business, to use in podcast interviews. Everybody keeps receiving the water to talk about it, but it's definitely understandable. And then even sometimes I actually did like a 3 week 7 day challenge that was free, that had like different kind of actions, questions from the journal, then points of reflection, and then more work. I gave folks more work to do, and did that for 7 days, and then I had like some quick videos in my stories, just kind of to highlight what the bulk of what was being discussed for that day. And so I think I'm probably going to repurpose that, and probably put it on my school as well, so that it can be there all together for somebody to be able to just download it.
Okay, so now with the Mind Matters, thank you for giving
Mm-hmm.
me that background. But I want to take
Mm-hmm.
it back even before that. So
Oh,
you went to school for business, the BBA, the MBA. And so
mm-hmm.
how talk about the plan of saying I'm going to go get all this, but not to set up for somebody else, to really set this up for myself. So can you talk about that journey and how you came to that?
Well, it was the plan all along. I'm a product of one, my daddy. He has been an entrepreneur my whole life. And so I knew that that was the plan, because I knew the entrepreneurship mindset was in me. But I also wanted to go to school to learn the fundamentals and the strategies and the kind of the know-how, and be able to work in corporate America for a time to be able to, know what the big wigs are doing and how they implement it as well. But I can take it all and help people just like my daddy as well as myself. And so I actually was helping my daddy even before I graduated undergrad. I was helping him with some stuff. I was doing the same with the church because, like, I don't know if I mentioned I'm a pastor's kid, so I was doing the same with helping the church out with stuff and just stuff I would learn and different things like that. Because, you know, not to be churchy, but they say we perish for the lack of knowledge, meaning we don't grow, we die, we don't survive, we don't thrive because we don't know nothing. And when we don't know nothing, we don't know no more. And so I knew just from even just the troubles and the trauma that my daddy had in his business and in businesses as an entrepreneur, I knew I wanted to be able to help people like him, help him, and then be able to do that from my own space and my own platform. And so for me, the education was for that. It was also because I'm a nerd. And then I believe that you never stop learning as well. And so coupled with all of that, like I actually, technically I'm in my doctorate program, but I'm on a sabbatical going on 2 years. Don't tell no. I'm on sabbatical for like 2 years, but hey, I got some credits on it. I got something
Yeah,
on the
I
book.
got something on
Yeah.
it. That's good though. But I mean, honestly, I think that's a lot, that doctor, because you're doing a lot, and so then you almost have to decide which one, because you got a family too. And then I'm understanding now how everything is coming together. So have you, now we're going through the pandemic with the life coaching, have you seen an increase in people who are reaching out to you to try to talk about their mind or get some coaching?
So it's funny. You know how a lot of people say they're a public figure? I be saying I'm a private figure because most of, and I see, I'm definitely for anybody as a client and coaching, but I also know that my gifting is oftentimes to coach the leaders and to be the leaders encourager or the leaders motivation or inspiration or whatever. And so yes, but it hasn't been the normal way that you would have think it come. Meaning a lot of the people that I've either come in contact with or opportunities, speaking engagements, podcast interviews, some kind of way, we be ending up having a whole session, either before, after, or in between. They be like, I just feel like you got my whole life, and I don't even care if the listeners got nothing. I got something. I be like, oh Lord. So that's why I said it's been interesting how it's been happening. But I don't believe nothing is for naught. I believe everything is purposeful, and if that was my whole assignment, that was my assignment because I know I have a feeling it.
With that, I know you said you are a pastor's daughter. Yes?
Why you say it like that? I feel like you going back in the day with what I heard about them. Don't be talking like that, kid. I'm like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I, I'm married,
Hey.
and I was girl. My husband said he got the good wholesome girl. He did. I wasn't bad. I wasn't like them other ones you done heard about,
Okay,
Kendra. Okay, where you
okay.
going with your question? Where you
Well,
going with your question?
so instead of, some people have, so like, you can get the life coach certification, and then, but you have a Christian life coach certification. So,
I do. I do. That was on purpose. Yes.
yes. Okay. And so then, did it kind of come from just being raised in the church and you said, I want to go deeper into the Christian and coach people that way, or how did that come about?
Well, because I mean, it's not necessarily a Christian life certification. It's just it had a biblical foundation. It was specific things like undercurrent. Even my MBA and my undergrad were from either they were Christian university based, but and you knew that like we had a chapel on campus and it was based in it, or it was a full blown Christian university. So that has always been a part of it. Just like with my business, you gonna know I'm a believer, but I don't necessarily have to say I'm a Christian owned business, because you gonna catch me whichever way you see me. Like, I'm gonna be who I am. Like you said, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be raw. I'm gonna be authentic. And so you gonna see who I am by what I bring to the table. And so it doesn't matter what I'm coming with. You gonna know who I am when I show up. So
Okay. And so under that, the coaching, what all services do you offer?
I have individual, and then I have different packages, and then I have it where I offer like a 1 day intensive coaching day. I have it. Oh, that's what I'm. Ooh, child, yeah, I have it. I necessarily said I love those.
I mean, you
It
talking
pulls a
like
lot.
all day?
Yeah, it's like we break. We break for lunch, but yeah, it's like at least 6 to 8 hours. Yeah, 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 but it's necessary if that's what they want to like. Because sometimes, like I talked about in my book, sometimes you can just be stuck for the day. Something happened and everything just start echoing, 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 and so you just may need some help to reframe it. You may be stuck for the week, but then you mess around and might be stuck for a year or years. So it kind of depends upon like what intensive kind you want. Like if you just want a whole intensive coaching session, I'm it's out there, it's available. And then I have it to where I do, group. I mean, not group, but I actually am gonna do. I'm going to actually be doing a free group session, actually free 4 week group coaching session for the coming 4 weeks. I'm gonna actually be doing that, and I'm putting that out there real soon. But yeah, it just kind of depends on what you need, and that's why there's diversity in it that I offer. Um, yeah, yeah, it's diversity. That's like your work with the Boys and Girls Club or group that you're part of. Like, you may just have a 1 day, all day with a young guy, a young boy, but then you may have it to where you go work with them, 30 minutes a day, once a week, and it may be for 6 months. So it just kind of depends upon what the intake or what it is that they need for that time.
Okay. So just really tailored. And
Yeah.
is that the school?
No, so school.tanyajmiller.com are online classes that are already out there and self-paced. And the reason I came up with that, number one, that was the first kind of way I was doing online and group coaching, because I felt like you may not want to work. I might be too much right now, and you might just want to go kind of on a specific topic around life and leadership. So I put different things out there that pertain to life and leadership, everything from grace to talking about Slater Day to talking about getting your money right. So you can produce, so you can do purpose. So there's different ones out there on different things, and they're at your own pace, and that's the whole purpose of it, because you may not have the time. Like, you might have kids, you might have a whole spouse, you might have a 9 to 5, then your business or part time. And so I wanted it to be there to where you could do it at your own pace. And so that's where those courses are out there. And I'm usually loading some either maybe every quarter or at least twice a year, different classes out. And some are free, but they're way cheaper, like for real, way, way cheaper than what it would cost for my regular, actually, one-on-one group coaching. I mean, not group coaching, one-on-one coaching is way cheaper than that. So, like, those sessions are like, some of them, like, yeah, way cheaper. Let me just say it like that. It's way cheaper. Because some, like six, they can be, one course can maybe have 6 different videos in it, plus the actual PowerPoint and presentation, and that's a lot of meat to chew on, and it mess around and just be $30.
Hmm. Okay. But that's good.
I
That's
think
good
it's
though.
about yeah, my thing is about meeting you where you're at and giving you what you need,
Hmm.
because you might just want and need something on specific on grace, but you might want to get your mind right and you want to read the books. That's another way I can reach you, because
Hmm.
to me, my purpose never changes. My overarching purpose is still to help you figure it out, fit the
Mm-hmm.
puzzle pieces like together so you do life right well, so you do life and leadership unapologetically on purpose. But the way I do that, meaning the way the purpose in me is produced, it can come out as an author, come out as a speaker, come out through my online classes, come out through
Mm-hmm.
coaching one, come out through podcast interviews, come out through my little mixtape I got.
Mm-hmm. Hold up.
I'm still going to reach you where you're at.
Yes.
It's just my purpose is producing itself, and the vision is coming out in different areas, but it's all to reach you the same
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah. And then if we talking about reaching avenues, well, now we talking about this YouTube.
Yes, that's that's the blog. That's talking with Tanya. Yes, sir.
Okay, so then how long have you been doing it? And what are some of the topics? Like, how do you pick your topics, and then how does that process go?
I can't go past this week. I don't know what I talked about last week. I don't know. Oh, honestly, that's the reason why. Like a lot of people are like, do you just know in advance? Do you just be doing it early? I be like, no. I am, yeah, however I feel, what hit me, what kind of seems just overwhelming, present. Like I at least know by Sunday because that's when I record for the week. So I at least need to know. At least I need to know. Let me say that I need to know by Sunday because that's what I record. But yeah, I just kind of see what is just on my heart and what's in my spirit and go from
Mm-hmm.
there. This week came from just the day before a podcast interview, and it wasn't even a part of the interview. This was just me and her talking beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
and she had said life is a heartbeat. There's ups, downs, and the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I elaborated and went in and dug in and took some more and did this and blah 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 blah
Mm-hmm.
all week long. And
Yeah.
apparently it hit because they was all commenting on it. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
y'all like.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like some days like I may cause see here's the thing. This also explains my writing style. So I take notes. You will never not find my one of my cell phones by me or a tablet or something. Cause one, I can't read my handwriting no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't. I can't read it.
Yeah.
Print or cursive.
Yes.
I can't read it. So I need to see that clear text.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am always taking notes for either um what I'm gonna talk about if I think of it or it makes sense for a video for the videos for the week or right now I'm not doing my normally I would have like a written post that I would do at nighttime, but because I've been a part of so much and I want to make sure I share everybody's stuff, I just kind of had one of those. So either between that and the 7 day challenges that I had did for 3 weeks, I hadn't did my regular post. But I got a ton of content that I got to publish for that when I get back to that. Or it may end up going into something bigger. Like I look at it from all angles. And then like in my doc, I got book titles and writing prompts and all of that. So my mind is always thinking.
Mm-hmm. And now, with your mind always going like that, has the quarantine made you feel like you need to do more?
I wouldn't say it made me feel like I need to do more. It made me realize I needed to pivot because I had book signings, I had speaking engagements, and I could have just been like, "Oh well, I'm just not gonna do nothing." I'm just gonna chill on my purpose like some folks is doing. Or I can choose to pivot and I can choose to see where the need is, where the opportunities are, and see if the need and opportunity like what I'm talking about, which is what I did. And so once again, my mama taught me nothing beat a failure but a try. The worst they can do is say no. If I don't ever ask, I already know. It's 100% no. So I basically pitched myself. I ain't got no problem with it. I got a booking manager. She pitched me, but I pitched myself. She on break right now because she's talking about, I don't feel like taking your money. I said, well, I'm going to be working and pitching myself because I was doing that before I hired you. So I pitched myself out there saying, hey, heard about your show, like what I saw and was interested in. Would you mind? Hey, here's a little bit more about me. Here's my speaking points. I'm a media kid. Let me know if you're interested. And that's it. That's the worst you could do is tell me no. But if I don't ever ask, I never asked Kendra, y'all wouldn't be hearing about me. I wouldn't be over here cutting up with Kendra. We wouldn't be on KTTeeV. I got it right. We would be on that, and I wouldn't be able to just even learn and hear about all the things that you're doing in Louisiana, not just as an AP, but a mentor, coach, all of that. So
So how many books total right now that you wrote today?
it's six, but it's only three projects. I refer to them as projects, but it's mhm. I mean, I don't know what that means. I feel if you ask me if you want to, if an author, if an aspiring writer is asking me that question and y'all are listening in, I would tell you it can take a day. Go to a hotel, lock yourself in the room, and as I tell folks, have diarrhea. Just like you can have diarrhea in the mouth, you running your mouth too much. Gonna take that same energy and get it all out there on paper, on the computer, whatever way is gonna be best for you to get it out and put it all in. So you can do that much as a day. It's all about time management and where what they say, where your focus lies. That's where something. I don't remember the end of it. Where your energy goes, the focus flows, something like that. But basically, it's that thing. Like, if you want to be a writer and an author, you gonna do the work. If you want to be a published writer in an article and have your article in a magazine, you gonna write that article and you gonna submit to how many ever magazines. I don't care if they online or not. You gonna do what's required. So that's what it's all about. Like, it's just doing what's required. Now, is there a process to it? Yeah. If you're gonna self publish, you and it's your first time and you're not gonna work with the independent publisher, then it might take a little bit, might take a little time for you to learn it all and everything, because there's different things. I think you can do self-publish through Ingram, you can self-publish through KTTeeV, which is Amazon, you can self-publish through Lulu Books, a couple of more, or you can still self-publish through them, but work and do independent publishing when somebody that is a publisher still lets you self-publish, but they help guide you and they have editing in-house, they have copyright in-house, they have book layout in-house, and even book cover design in-house, or they at least have them all under them contract as contractors, and they help to get you to move it along faster. um, like I have a friend, RK, book publish I mean no Royston book publishing, I want to say that thing, I feel like that's wrong, but Julia Royston, Vanessa Collins, she has a publishing house, um, 13th and Joan. Like, it's a bunch of different opportunities that they have that, or you can try to pitch yourself to go, with a publisher, and they all you do is write, and they publish through their publishing house and all that. Some of that takes longer, so it just depends on what your dream is and what your hope and vision is. Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop, most of his stuff was independent. He popping trunk and selling his books. So it really depends on what your path is and journey is and where you're trying to go. But to answer the question, you get that money and done in a day if you really yeah, if you really got your energy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now I see this interview. I'm interested in hooking up with you, getting the coaching. How do I do that? And then what would my first session look like?
Um so you can get information on my coaching at tanyajmiller.com, and on there there'll be a coaching tab, and you would read up on what it is and what I offer and who I am as a coach, and then also be able to kind of see the packages that I offer and see what makes sense. Or you can just reach out with the contact form on there and just ask for more information. So your first session is going to be what I call a purpose call, which is free. And it's like 15 to 20 minutes. And the reason I have that is because, let's just be clear, not that everybody won't get their fade done at every H-Town barber. Every, they don't want to get that clean shave from everybody, and that they want that experience. They want that relationship, that to understand how you want it to look and done. No, I don't want no black dye. I don't want that, because then it'll be smearing and then I'll be a meme. I don't want that. I want my stuff to be how I want it, and I want you to feel me. And so because of that, I want the same thing in our relationship. I'm not a coach that's gonna just take your money Just because you came to me, I want to make sure that number one, I can deliver. Number two, we get along. Number three, you gonna follow us in this contract because I have a whole couple of documents that you gotta complete and fill out. That break it all the way down of what I'm talking about as far as my expectations of you and your expectations of me. And so we'll discuss that on some level, but we'll also just kind of discuss what it is you're looking for. Because if that's not the type of coaching I do or what I can refer you to somebody, or if I'm gonna be honest, if you come to me asking for coaching when you need a whole 2 years of therapy, I'm gonna tell you, okay, so this is what I'm seeing and picking up. We need to go back. The difference in coaching and therapy is therapy goes back and works through what you need to process from of old. Coaching is what, just like it is what you see football, they help you alongside you so you can make forward progress and get to the goal. Okay. And so if I pick that up, like, I'm gonna have to just be real. I'm gonna have to give you a referral. Like, I got a bunch of amazing people. I can definitely share with you and help you out. But I feel at this time, coaching, or at least what I feel I'm able to offer and be within my actual legal things that I'm allowed to do, it will require therapy first. And I'll just be straight up with you. And so definitely you can come back to me. Definitely you can find somebody else that's willing to do that. But for me professionally, I would not be feel right. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Can I just do straight Christian therapy? And like I would do if I was still working alongside my dad? Absolutely, I could. But that's not what I'm selling. That's not what I'm offering. I'm not gonna put that out there. Now, if you catch me and I'm at a church speaking engagement and I'm in the whole fully Holy Ghost, you might get some of that work. But no, the other way, when you come to this TJMiller.com for coaching, no, I'm not going to do that to myself. But anything can happen under the Holy Ghost.
The
Okay.
unapologetically on purpose.
Yes.
How did you even come up with that phrase, that tag? What made
My
that?
mom. My
Okay.
mama, it was two things she always said, and they actually are. If you ever go online to shop.tangjmiller.com and you see the things my mama said collection, they are the two shirts that are part of that collection, the same. But she said two things to me. All of us growing up, she said, "Can't nobody beat you being you," and she said, "You are who you're supposed to be." And they've stuck with me. They sit with me. They are the foundation of me. And so, because I know when you know who you are and you know what you're supposed to be, nobody else can make you feel otherwise. When you know can't nobody beat you being you, doing it like you how you supposed to do it, ain't no competition. So because of that, your purpose is something that you're supposed to do unapologetically. You're unapologetic because you have purpose. However you read that mother, it's gonna hit the same way. So that's where it came from just that, from my mom, and just, you know, she just was like, hey, is this how it is? And I don't want you to feel nothing else. And so, as crazy as I may be, last week was Mother's Day, and I had my mom on all week, and then she done took over. We were supposed to just do an intro on the week, like maybe 10 minutes, five. She done went into a full blown Q&A session. I'm over here just sitting there like this, like, well, girl, take the mic. She talking about, well, I got warmed up after 2 hours of recording. I was ready. I said, well, clearly, I said, because you was raw. You was the Linda I know. Talking about you just she told me, you just think I'm your homie. I said, you not. I am. I said, okay, well then stop playing this.
All
Stop
right.
putting up. But
Well, that's
yeah,
good though.
asking for her. And so I said, well, let me bring her to the table. Here y'all go. Here she go. So that's what I did. But yeah, it just comes, from both of them, but it's just the realness of what you have to be in this life,
Hmm.
because everything and everybody else will try and make you think and treat you otherwise, especially as a person of color, especially as a black male right now. They'll make you think anything else. And so that's why I even, like I said, I commend you, because you already know it's not that many male APs, let alone men of color, that are assistant principals. And so the fact that you do that work, plus you help, like you said, you had two major traumatic experiences in your life. And so from them, you make it a point to not just work with youth, but at risk youth. You
Hmm.
make it a point to be a leader on your campus, you make it a point to show up in the authenticity of who you are. You make it a point to let them know that your life sentence is not based upon anybody else's, but the one you put on. So if you stay motivated, you stay encouraged, you can do this thing and you can get out of every situation. I like that you're placed in, because I think that's what you did. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
what you were able to do. You pivoted and you realized that no matter the situation, there's always a way out of it. No matter what people may say, you're not their label, and there's a leader in you,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to make sure, as you do what you do, provide that support. So I commend you. And so as I say that, I want to also make sure I tell your fans, your family, your low key haters that's on here, and your
Yeah.
subscribers. Y'all make sure y'all connect with my brother. Make sure y'all support him. Make sure you guys be what he needs and more, because there is way more in him that he
Yeah.
has to offer. Listen, he got more than just to support somebody else's dream. He got his own that he got to birth out and show. He got a whole program that's just sitting inside of him that he just been waiting to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs y'all to believe in him. He needs y'all to like, follow, subscribe, rate, review. He needs y'all to, maybe when he get his books out, buy his books. He needs y'all to
Yes.
buy his books. He needs y'all to buy his, sign your kids up for his mentorship program when he lay it out there for y'all. He need it, because he doesn't need to not feel like he has the support of the people that's supposed to be rocking with him and rolling with
Yeah.
him. So
Yeah.
y'all support Kendrick Thomas, aka KTTeeV. All right,
Yeah.
that's A-Town fam. Y'all don't play. We don't play in Texas, so don't do him like that.
Hey, now we was almost in one of those sessions. I had started getting a little happy over here for a second. I was almost down now.
Hey, I'm gonna call it like I see it. I know that there's a whole mentorship program that's just laying on. You don't start writing it, then you will put it away. You type on it again, and you put it away. You wouldn't be doing all of this work that you're doing without having a whole plan and desire to do it on your terms. So I believe it's coming.
I just want to say thank you, but I cannot let you get off the hook this easy. So, before you go, will you
Mm-hmm.
please just give some, and maybe this is kind of what you tell some of your clients, but like, let's say what we going through right now. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of anxiety, a lot of fear, anxiousness. How do you help your clients with the words to get through times like these? Like, what would you tell them?
I definitely know that we're all, that the old thing that they would say, the elders and saints in my family would say, we all going through something, except this time we all are going through it at the same time. But the thing we have to remember and know, we all may be going through it at the same time, but it looks different from everybody else's lens, everybody else's perspective, everybody else's point of view. And so, because of that, remember to be mindful of that, remember to respect that, and remember to be as courteous, but also humble in that same at the same time. Because you might not have lost your job, but your neighbor next to you did. You might have groceries, but your neighbor down the road don't. You might be okay, but they cut this man hours, and they furloughed his wife. You never know what this pandemic, this crisis, this economic crisis that may be to come looks like from everybody else. So we're all in this storm, but this storm is doing its own damage differently. And so if it's hitting differently and it's hitting harder for you, I definitely encourage you, one, if it's something to where you don't know how to go forward, then go get some therapy. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong or stigma based to say I need help, because that's all it is. You taking up for yourself and saying I need it. I want to go get it. So go do it. EAP is free. In the Rooms is a support. InTheRooms.com is a support system that's online for free. So you think of different things like Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, but also things like depression and anxiety and you know eating disorders, or just any trauma, even to health issues. They're on there, and it's available 24/7. It's a room open, and I ain't saying just one, like, it's people, it's group therapy out there on intherooms.com. There's another one called reenergize.com. In addition to EAP, just a lot of companies, especially insurances, where you would normally have 3, 5, and 7, you're getting like 9, 11, 13, and 15 FREE. And then I know some people, like my dude, King J. Barnett, he was actually in Houston. He moved up here. He's doing free group coaching sessions as well, but he's also a therapist. I know a lot of people that are doing free stuff. So if you won't be on social media, go on and find the stuff that's out there that's gonna help you, and not how you just over here hating and talking about I wish I had this and they ain't. They look like they listen. Social media actually has a purpose, so go on and get something out of this purpose, and get you what you. Right now, I got a sis that they doing. She doing a whole series on relationships, and tonight they got a free one on marriage. It's free. Got a therapist on deck online for free. Just saying, y'all, it's free stuff out there. It's out there if you want it. It's out there if you need it. It's out there if you say, I need help. And so that's what I would say. And then if you're ready to go forward, you need help with tapping into that purpose in you. You need help into, you know, figuring out how you can be the leader that you know you can be. Call me, work with me for coaching. If you need help with setting up your own boys and girls mentorship program or some consulting from a different school district or different state, call my bro. We both working in these streets, so let it be known we out here to help in this time, in this situation, because if anything, we want to be the voice of reason, support, and answer, and not the voice of anything less than hope. So, thank you, sir. I appreciate the opportunity. Y'all connect. I ain't playing with him. Connect with my bro. He doing amazing stuff for the community. Not many doing it. Not many like him doing it. Not many like him are willing to make the sacrifice. So that's why I'm gotta shout you out because it's real.
It is real. So give me the contact information one more time.
Talking with Tanya on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. TanyaJMiller.com. All links are there. Shop.TanyaJMiller.com. Books, journals, message merch. School.TanyaJMiller.com. Online classes on life and leadership. And bit.ly, all caps, join fam, 20% off your first order on shop.TanyaJMiller.com. So I'll be looking forward to hearing what y'all got to say about this episode because I need to hear it. I need to hear what y'all think, what y'all say, and I need to make sure that I see y'all subscribing. So don't play me. Don't play me, y'all. I'm going to be looking.
Yay. Well, I sure appreciate your time today, Miss Tanya J. Miller. The words, awesome. You know, the content of the books, of the message of your purpose is good. And so I just appreciate you for taking a few minutes today, you know, just to share with the listeners. And I look forward to working together and coming out there in the D and see how it's going down unapologetically in person.
All right. Let me know. Let me know when you're here.
Okay, that'll work then. All right, this is KT for KTTeeV signing out 100.